Hello and once again welcome back to another video, this time looking at a new outfit added in patch 7.41. Again to Oises, the new moon / planet place added in cosmic exploration in this patch. And this then is a vendor purchased set from Masayoshi. I don't know if I've pronounced that correctly. And if you go over to Masayoshi and exchange your Cosmo credits, which you can obtain from doing stellar missions and other activities on the moon here. These Cosmo credits apply to all different planets, by the way. These aren't locked. These aren't Oises related. You could do these on Sinus Adorum or wherever you want to. You will find that there are some new items in the form of the Star Admiral set, consisting of 5 pieces in total. The helm and the hands and the feet will all cost 4,800 Cosmo credits each, with a chest costing 8,400 Cosmo credits and 7,200 Cosmo credits for the Star Admiral's trousers. As usual, let's look at this in high detail and full dies. Okay, let's start off then. So 5 pieces of gear, double die channels applied to each one of those pieces. And yeah, they're an interesting set piece, honestly. It immediately reminds me of something from Warhammer, or obviously from Helldivers, a lot of people have been talking about. One thing to note then, if your character has a tail, it will clip out the back. There's an example with a Hrothgar. We used a Fantasia in this video, so hopefully that answers some of your questions. Also, all Ra there as well. Varied amounts of quality of clipping. And the helmet actually changes style depending on your ears. So with Mikote, you have big cat ears that are armored. Haya, obviously nothing. And then Elizon, we have a little ear covers on the side there. So a nice little detail for Elizon. And of course, that means that Lalafell also get that applied to them because they follow the same kind of ears. Rugadin then, obviously, you know, nothing there, just big bulky armor. And Aura, the horns will actually clip out the side, which is a bit of a mistake in my opinion. It would have been nice to have some ear covers. Hrothgar getting ear covers on the top of their head then, like Miko. And Viera probably getting the coolest ear covers of this helmet. I think it looks so good on a Viera. Individual details then. Look at the detail on this. So we've got this leatherette sort of effect there with lots of detail up close and personal, with some interesting sort of embellishments on the side there. Lots of different colors, lots of strong brassy gold colors with red inlay, lots of luminosity on this set as well. I think it's really cool. You might not. It's not going to be for everyone's taste for sure, but if you're a fan of similar games that I've mentioned before, you'll probably be in for this. Just to show you where that helm finishes off then, individual pieces. The chest piece then, this is a really nice shot that I recorded up close and personal. You can kind of see that almost herringbone sort of effect there up close. I mean, I don't know if YouTube's doing it justice with the bitrate of the pattern on the leather, but it is a really cool looking set. There it is then, just the chest piece without the helmet, gloves, and legs and feet, which the chest piece itself is obviously the main attraction for this, but there are certainly some nice parts of this that I would use elsewhere. The gloves are quite nice. They offer a good alternative if you're going for something cybernetic and you don't want to use any of the other Solution 9 items that have been added to the game. The legs then quite subtle actually. You know, it's rare to see them without the rest of the suit, so there's a little belt buckle at the top there on the belt line and some armored padding. The boots, I don't hate them. They're quite nice, slim boots. Obviously just below the knee, there's some nice details on there. And depending, obviously, as we look at the dies in a second, is whether or not these are a winner, but they're not terrible. And one of the other features I thought we'd showcase here is the visor command. So if you actually click this on your character or /visor, you can turn on and off the visor's glow. So there's actually a glow. And the glow can be dyed, which is the other really unique thing about this. So I thought I'd show that off. And here it is in a dark area, just to show off that luminosity, in case you're wondering how much luminosity. So that's just normal in-game with no filters or anything, just the black of night. And so here's some dyes then. So how well does this dye? So the first thing to note is that obviously that brass inlay, that gold inlay, isn't going to be changing color. And for the most part, aside from that, it's only a couple of the little gemstone / luminous little light sections that don't change color, but a good portion of this does. And I think that the gold / brass inlay is actually a good version of those gold/brass inlay, it could be matched quite easily with other pieces of gear, so that's good. The dyes are quite solid. You'll notice that the underside of the cape on the robe cannot be changed color. It's permanently turquoise, so that is something you're going to have to bear in mind. Perhaps tailor that color with some of the other pieces you match to. But I don't hate this set. It's certainly grown on me a lot more since when I first saw it. I don't know. I think it's the chest piece. Definitely the helm is one of the more interesting things. It reminds me of a helm from the Alexander Raid series. It definitely is that kind of in that vein, or robots, that kind of thing. Reminds me of like the Solution 9 robots. And you'll probably be able to pull off quite decent glamours with that helm in that regard. Outside of that, yeah, it kind of looks like a futuristic cyber samurai or something. There's a lot to like about this set. And I guess that's going to be depending on your taste. You might look at this and go, I absolutely hate this, Meoni. What do you see in it? I don't know. I'm a bit of a fan of long, cloaks on gear. Looks really good in metallic ruby red, and cobalt green is currently my favorite dye in the game. Looking pretty good in my opinion. But yeah, the sort of distance that you're going to have with this in combination with other pieces of gear is going to depend on your creativity, isn't it, really? And one of the things that we can certainly agree on is that the helm with the chest might not be everyone's cup of tea, but if we were to combine this with the Star Captain's hat, which is also obviously from Cosmic Exploration, as you can see, I think it looks kind of cool. It reminds me a little bit of M. Bison from Street Fighter, so we might have to update that glamour we've created before. And then I decided to go, let's see what the idealized Estocker's helm, the Red Mage helm from Memora Misera looks like, with some other bits, Sherwiz gloves. It looks quite nice, actually. So there is actually a little bit of wiggle room with the chest. Obviously, those boots are horrible with this. And of course, robots, they're incredibly valid. I've seen quite a few people come up with their own robot designs for the helm. And this is one I just whacked together, obviously, with the very easy to get late Allegan chest there of fending. Just a machinist glam. It looks pretty cool, actually, in my opinion. Although I do think the chest needs to be a little bit more bulky. One of the advantages of this set, then, obviously, you can stick this in your glamour dresser as one piece if you want to store it at all, if you like it, instead of 5 pieces, and that's the benefit of the outfit glamour system. But yeah, all in all, I don't hate this set. I think it's quite unique, and I'm sure some people will find lots of pop culture references to make glamours with pieces of this. Let me know if you've got this one yet, if you're as excited to use it in glams as I am, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.